So let's talk about this portfolio. So are you saying, is it your goal to get to 70 million, or is it already there, or where are you in that journey of getting to where you want to go?
Holy crap, how did I end up here? Like, I need to talk to someone else that had this crazy journey, right? When we talk about putting on blinders, we're not talking about putting on blinders and doing stupid deals.
Yeah, it is crazy how many people stop themselves before they even get anywhere. They don't even give themselves a chance to pursue something. They just kind of have this cancel out mentality of just it'll never work because of this. I saw this thing on TV once, or I have a friend who failed at that, so it'll never work. And I mean, I can even honestly look at myself and say that I've done that with certain things. Said no to good opportunities because I just wasn't willing to even think about it. It's a tough thing to know when to turn the blinders on, because on one hand, there's wisdom in listening to criticism. There are ways that we can all be better, and we're kind of foolish to just say, forget you about everything. But there is a time when you do need to say that. So it's kind of tricky to discern and understand, when do I listen versus when do I just proceed and do what I know in my heart is right.
Right? Hindsight's 20/20. None of us would knew that, we all believe that we would be this successful that we are today, right? And I think that's why we end up in these mastermind rooms of holy crap, how did I end up here? I need to talk to someone else that had this crazy journey, right? We have similar journey paths. And it's oh my God, this just happened and that happened. And you look back and you're wow, man, I can't believe I did all this in that short period of time. But then if you go back to yourself then and try to look forward to say, in 10 years, I'm going to have almost a 9-figure portfolio, or I'm going to have this massive following, and I'm going to have this huge podcast, or a portfolio, or flipping land, whatever it is, you're there's no way, there's just no way, right? And a lot of people ask, how'd you even end up here? And I said, I don't know, man. And sometimes it's I don't even know if I could recreate it, but there was something there that motivated us to get to the other end. When we talk about putting on blinders, we're not talking about putting on blinders and doing stupid deals. We're talking about canceling out all the noise from, it might be your mom, it might be your wife, it might be the most respected person that you know that says this is stupid. But if somewhere deep down inside, you know it's right, you're gonna make it work, you have that burning desire, you're gonna go. Most people give up. And we would see it all the time in Baltimore, because we get a lot of money come down from New York, we get a lot of money come up from DC, Philadelphia, all the surrounding major cities, and they come in, I can handle Baltimore, and they throw money at their problems, they give up, and next you know there's more vacant houses, right? And you would see it all the time. Most people don't have the grit and determination to complete what they set out to do, and those that do, that is what gives them the ability to take the next step, to do the next deal, to grow the portfolio, to grow what they're doing. I'm Seth, I'm sure you can talk about it. You probably remember your first podcast. It probably sucked. I look at my first podcast. It sucked. I guarantee you it was terrible. And it's if I didn't keep going back and just trying it out over and over and over again, I would never have one. You would never have one, right? And most people, again, they give up on themselves way too soon. It's not easy, right? If it was easy, we would all do it. I give you all the cliche sayings, but they're all true, every single one of them.
So let's talk about this portfolio. So are you saying, is your goal to get to 70 million, or is it already there, or where are you in that journey of getting to where you want to go?
Yeah, conservatively today, our portfolio aggregate value, assets under management of how much stuff we own and control is approximately $70 million of real estate. Our next major goal is obviously the 9-figure one, which if we close this next deal that we're potentially working on would take us right up to that. We're working on a $30 million acquisition, but yeah, we're already at the $70 million valuation point, and it's crazy to think, dude, we have no traditional training, no traditional background, just two guys that went out there and did it, and it's beyond achievable, right? I remember talking, I just want 100 houses, and then when we got to 100 houses, I was that's cool, what's next? You know what I mean? And getting to $70 million, while it might seem like an astronomical number, it's actually not that hard. It's not that hard to get to the level that you want to be at. It goes back to how hard you want to work, how badly do you want it? But yeah, no, we're fortunate enough to have a $70 million portfolio. It's pretty cool.
Going back to your journey here, and maybe I've sort of asked this, but just in a different way, but if you're starting over today, given all of the different types of properties you worked with, if your goal was to recreate the wheel and go from one property to $70 million portfolio as quickly as possible, is there a certain property type or strategy or anything that you would focus your efforts on and double down on to get there faster? Or did you just have to bump in the walls and do all this stuff to make it work?
I would say it's not so much of what I would have done. It's having confidence in myself earlier. If you don't mind, I'll rephrase the question. If I lost it all today and I had to go build it again today, what would I do? I would go back. I would do some single family real estate, get my feet wet again, right? Like make sure I have my team, my processes in place, and I would jump to commercial assets much quicker. We've always been legacy owners, cash flow owners. That's always what I look at. I would make the jump from single family real estate to commercial real estate a lot quicker. The rewards are much larger. The willingness for people to invest in you, invest in your deals, the room for people to invest in your deals, the opportunity is much, much larger. And the other cool thing is, and I think this gets missed a lot, in single family real estate, it's consumer to business owner, where in commercial real estate, it's B2B. So when you ask for owner financing or you ask for help, or whatever it is, generally speaking, most business operators want to see other business operators succeed. And they're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, I remember when I had that issue. Yeah, I'll hold a note for you, but here's the terms. I think there's more creativity inside of commercial real estate, and I would hop on that train a lot faster than I did from the single family world. I'd pick up a few single family houses to get immediate cash flow just because it's the easiest and the path of least resistance. And then after that, I would jump to commercial real estate as fast as humanly possible and get in there and do it because, like I said, the opportunity is much greater than it is in the single family world, from my opinion, from a growth standpoint and a legacy ownership standpoint.